Isaac, you have already, like a lot of Juilliard graduates, you've already managed to mention that you went there.
Yep. It's #1 rule of Juilliard, always talk about Juilliard.
But this is something you were writing and performing in your own plays as a kid. This made sense.
I did, yeah. And I wrote a play, a musical in 5th grade where I played a platypus. I went to a Christian school, and so it was about Noah's Ark.
Oh, wow. So you played it was Noah's Ark from a platypus's perspective?
Yeah, from a doubtful platypus, because he just didn't buy it.
Oh, that's a very good take.
Yeah, I had to have some conflict.
For a 5th grader, yeah.
Yeah.
So all the other animals were on board, but the platypus...
But the platypus was like, I don't believe this crap.
Which I would
And then he drowns.
Does he really?
That's what God does.
Oh, wow.
No, he doesn't drown. No, he didn't. He luckily, made a,
he at the last minute, he was like, oh, yeah.
All right, I better
Because
go.
I would say that's a risky animal to say I'm not coming, because the way a platypus looks, I think they're like, we're fine. I think we
We're
can
gonna be fine
without a platypus.
right. Yeah.
And you made your own films as well?
Yeah. As I showed at the SNL thing,
Yeah.
like I was really into karate movies, so I would do a lot of videos of me just like kicking my friends.
That's great.
Yeah.
What were I was very lucky. I feel like my parents loved movies. They love comedy. They like sharing it with their kids.
Yeah.
Your dad's the same way, right?
Big time, yeah. He would always, this was when we had a Betamax. He'd come home every Friday night with like a brown case with a new movie in it. And so like the video store was always this like amazing mecca. And we had one down the road called Hooked on Videos, and I'd go there all the time. And they had like a Street Fighter 2 arcade game too, where I'd always play there with my friend. And I would just I got to know the guy, so he would let me just get videos that I definitely shouldn't have been getting at like 11 years old.
What's a age inappropriate movie you watched as an 11-year-old?
Deer Hunter?
Yeah, that's not.
Probably not.
Almost no one's ever like, kids section? Where do we put it?
Yeah, it was right next to Garfield. Yeah, that really made an impression. That whole Chris Walken Russian roulette scene.
Did you find, because I feel like because my parents introduced me to, especially on the comedy side, like more adult comedy, it was very hard for me to watch comedy for kids. Like, I feel like I outgrew that faster than my peers.
Yeah, I mean, I think after Deer Hunter, like Transformers was a little difficult to go back to.
You're like, they're not risking anything.
Now, where's the Russian roulette scene with Optimus Prime?
You also, we've talked again about saying you were in a band.
I was.
Can you verify your band did pretty well? Opened for Green Day.
Technically.
Okay. I feel like I won. They're clapping too much for technically.
We played. Hey, it's more than a lot of people.
Yeah, it's more than a lot of people, that's right.
We played at the same festival on the same day.
Okay.
A couple hours apart. A few hours apart.
Same stage?
Maybe not the same stage. I don't remember exactly.
I feel like you'd remember if it was same stage.
Maybe not the same stage. It may have been a trailer with like a little tiny like scaffolding on it.
Gotcha. So like they were on a stage and you were on a moving trailer that pulled in the background.
At the same time.
And somebody yelled, "Keep it down!" So you mentioned you went to a Christian school. Your family, you had a very religious upbringing.
I did.
And
how about you?
No, not at all.
No?
Yeah.
Just non-believing.
Just fully, we were fully non-believing. We were, the rest of the neighborhood called us the platypuses.
Really?
Yeah.
But now.
Yeah, we were like, oh.
Yeah.
But how did that manifest? Like, were there things that you were taught as a kid that seem weird now that you had to outgrow?
Yeah, all of it.
Okay.
All of it was weird.
Yeah.
And a form of spiritual abuse, I would say. No, look, there was like some really beautiful things as well, but yeah, I think there's a lot of commonality with a lot of immigrant families that, come to this country and they find their community with, these kind of very religious groups. But it was weird. It was weird to grow up with, exorcisms at home sometimes.
Like people would come over for them, or?
Yeah, like I remember them exercising my grandma.
Oh,
and
wow.
Not like this kind of exercising.
Yeah.
It's like.
And did you, at the time as a kid, think like, yeah, they should. Grandma could use it.
Grandma needs an exorcism. I feel like she's been really annoying lately.
Yeah. I mean, let's at least give it a try. I mean, it can't get worse.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, it was a lot of weird stuff. A lot of weird stuff.
You grew up in Florida. Weird jobs before you found your path to being an actor?
Not many.
Okay.
I've never really been able to do much else. I worked at a golf club for a couple months.
Uh-huh.
I worked in the movie theater for a couple days.
Okay.
The longest job I had was as a transporter at a hospital.
Okay. How'd you get a job like that?
Because my dad
Okay.
worked at the hospital as a doctor.
Okay, so we got you a job.
Got me a job right after high school. I was going to community college in Miami and working as a transporter. So I would take like bodies to the morgue.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
seems like, I guess, I don't know why I'm surprised that would be something that somebody who just got hired did. But then
Yeah,
I guess
feel
on
like
the other end, yeah.
You're not going to hurt him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's a good point.
Yeah, right. You know what was interesting is that they'd put them, they had a very special stretcher, like it looks like a regular stretcher, but you'd put the body underneath so nobody would know when you're like wheeling it around.
It's like a room service food.
Yeah, exactly. It was like to keep it warm.
Yeah.
You know, that was my first job actually. Like when I arrived my first day, they're like, all right, you're gonna go with Sam to bring the body down to the morgue.
How many would you? I mean, now this is a weird question that sounds like this is what I've wanted to ask the wole time you've been out here.
How many bodies?
How many would you say you brought down?
How many are we talking about? Like more than 50?
Would you say more than 50?
What'd they smell like?
Would you like to hang out with some like-minded people? If I had a Facebook group, would you join? Anyway, I think the rest of this conversation we should have off camera. I want to say how lovely it is to have you here as always. Thank you so much, you guys. Oscar Isaac, Moon Knight, streaming now on Disney Plus. We'll be right back.